Hi folks, welcome to or welcome back to Exposed, and if I'm welcoming you back and you like it here, I'd love it if you subbed and stayed. You're going to hear road noise because it's raining, yay! And the cars going by make more noise in the rain. Like I need more noise. Anyway, you knew this was going to happen, didn't you? As soon as you saw the thumbnail for this video, you thought of me, didn't you? I'm not one of those young people that sees older people kissing as like, yuck, because it skeeves them out completely. But really, Lisa, did you have to be smooching in the thumbnail? Could you not have just been hugging, holding hands? And it's not so much the kissing as, to me, it's being over dramatic. She's overacting. Look at me kissing my older man. Ugh. It's older men do it better splashed across it. Across? When did the T come into it? Older men do it better. That's just gross. I'm sorry. What the fuck? Older men do what better? Cook you things and open boxes, and then I'm off on one before I even click play. Why I dated a married older man? No, why I dated and married an older man, or why I dated and married older men. Which bit of grammar do you not get, Lisa? And your legs are not that long. I don't know what you've fiddled with to make them look that length. They're not. And the second picture where she's got her head back and all the hair and she's in a slip dress, whatever the fuck, I can't see it because it's too small. It's like, really? Try hard? Much? Anyway, we're about to start. I wish you, and I hope you wish me luck. Volume are we on so we can hear her?
Hey everyone, it's Lisa, and today I want to tell you why I think older men are sexier. Why I think you should consider dating an older man. For those of you that are new, my husband John and I have been married. February will be 24 years. And it's both of our second marriages. We met when I was...
Ugh. We know it's your second marriage. I know she's saying if you're new here. Where does it say in the handbook of getting a husband that older men are sexier? Have you not heard of sexy toy boys? No? Look at that dumb look on her face. Older men are not sexier, especially if you're not attracted to older men. I am attracted to older men. I've always liked men with receding hairlines. For some reason, that was a thing. But I ended up marrying a toy boy who had a receding hairline. What are the chances? This stupid computer is doing that thing again where I can't adjust the volume. I'm hoping it's loud enough because it sounds loud enough in my ears. I just, fingers crossed.
Was 27 and he was 37. So he is just 10 years older than I am, which isn't a lot. It isn't like 20 or 30 years, but...
Duh, is it not? I never would have figured that out. 10 years isn't like 20 or 30 years, folks. Write that down in your notebooks. What do you mean your dog ate your homework? Ugh, I don't know.
It does matter. And what I want to talk to you today is why I think dating and marrying an older man works. Why I think it is just the best. Now before...
For you! It was the best for you! It's not for everybody, is it? You wanted someone to pay off your debt let you stay at home and pretend to be a stay-at-home mom and pamper you and put you on a pedestal and call you princess and never have you lift a finger for the rest of your days. That's what you wanted.
Before I started dating John, I did date other men that were older, 12 years older, 14 years older. I think another 14 years older. And actually, I think every boyfriend I've ever had was older than me, except for my first husband. Actually, that is something I want to go into. It has nothing to do with him. It has to do with the way I was when I met him and what I had been through. And if you like this video and these types of videos, please give me a thumbs up.
Stop asking for thumbs up. That's sad. Can you hear that noise? Anyone would think I lived at a truck stop. I don't know. Oh, it won't show on here, will it? Because I'm on Nvidia, so I'm not on. Oh, it does. 1,660. That's a bit fucking weird, isn't it? Anyway, 1,666 thumbs up. Are you telling me there's nearly 2,000 people out there that like this and need this information? God help us all. Really?
Subscribe and tell me down below, because I have a lot of life experience. I'm someone who is very introspective. I am a thinker. I love to learn. So the more and more I study myself, my happiness, what makes me happy, what makes
me happy. I'm very introspective. Yes, you are. It's all about you. What makes me happy, what I think. I, me. God, don't you love narcissists? I bet you, even though I've been stuck in this room for the last 11 years, I've got more life experience than you'll ever have, Lisa. You've lived in the same little town your entire fucking life. You've gone nowhere, done nothing, and you think you can sit there and tell other people how to run their lives? Who gave you the fucking wooden spoon? Put it down.
Makes me not happy, the more I learn about things like this. I also had a very good traditional Southern childhood that was very filled with a lot of life experiences, even from...
How was your sweet Southern childhood full of experience? I remember a video years ago, and it stuck with me because it was the most ridiculous thing I had ever heard in my entire life. She said, "My mum was so hard on me, she made me go and talk to the neighbours." Wow. Well, let's string her up and put her in prison, shall we? You had to be forced to go across the road to ask the neighbour something. Really? I was shopping for my mother at 5. I was sent off with a basket and money. And I did the shopping. I was making my own bed at 2. I did my own washing and ironing at 7. Come on, Lisa, tell me all about your life experience. I can't wait.
From my parents, a lot of good advice. So if that's your thing, then just...
A lot of good advice, like put all the bad things out of your head. That's great advice, that is.
Just let me know down below. But today, I want to tell you all of the pros. There are some cons, but I don't think I'm going to do the cons in this video. Let me tell you, the pros are this long and the cons are about this long, if that tells you anything. Okay, the first thing I want to say is I think it's biological. I think it's nature. I think that an older man, and it doesn't have to be an older man. It could be a man that has these virtues. But most of these will come with someone that is a little bit older, a little bit more mature. The man we're talking about is not a psychopath or anything like that. He is a normal, masculine man, and we are dealing with a woman that is a feminine woman with no big issues, just a typical couple, because I know that there are exceptions.
What the fuck is she trying to say? Not Dirty John. What does that mean? A feminine woman. No, a fucking dipshit who got herself into debt, didn't know how to get out of it, and hooked the first... I was going to swear a lot then. The first fucking man to come along who was dumb enough to take you on and pay off all your debt. No wonder you had to sit in the office once a week and explain what you'd spent. I don't blame him. He's probably terrified he'd wake up one day and you'd sold the house for 3 beans.
To all of these. And if you think about it, it kind of just goes along with the natural feelings of a man and a woman. Most women want to feel secure. We want to feel cherished. We want to feel safe. We want to feel
secure, cherished and safe. That's what you wanted. Where's loved in this? I married my husband because I loved him and he loved me. That's why we got married. It had nothing to do with ages. Age doesn't come into it, Lisa. If you meet the right person for you, they're the right person for you. You could be 17 and they could be 104. It doesn't fucking matter. You could be 50 and they could be 25. Age is just a number. You just happened to marry an older man. Had you married a younger man who was as fucking dumb as John and did everything he did, this would be a totally different video, wouldn't it? Why you should marry a younger man. This is, look at me, didn't I land the best person for me who let me do whatever the fuck I want? Me, 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 me.
just protected. We want to feel valued. We
don't want to feel fucking What? Is this 1940 or something? Wow.
want to feel special. And then most men want to feel respected. They want to feel like they are helping, like they are providing for you in every way.
They want to feel loved. Where's love? Oh, so love doesn't come into it. You just have to find an older man that wants to protect you to make you feel safe. Okay. What the fuck is going on in Wilmington these days, or them days, that you needed to feel safe? Is it just me? I'm sorry. God, she gets on my tits.
So it just goes along naturally when a younger woman and an older man get together.
It's not fucking... Ugh. Do you know how many people you're pissing off out there? And how many young women you're sent with? I pray there's no young women listening to this fucking bullshit and thinking that Lisa knows it all. Unless they're a money grabbing... what's the word? Help. Unless they're like Lisa and they've decided that they want to be a stay-at-home whatever, do nothing, get pampered, buy what they like, live the life of fucking luxury and never lift a finger towards helping it. They're the only people that would be listening to this, because any young girl with a brain would have switched this off at a minute, if that. It's the natural way of life for a feminine woman. So, What if you're a bit of a tomboy then? Can you not marry an older man?
It's natural that he has his stuff together, and that's one thing. When I started dating John, I could tell that some of his friends were kind of wondering, what my motives were.
Yeah, I bet his fucking friends had you sussed from day one. And they told him, stop thinking with your trousers and try using your brain, John. But of course he didn't listen because he was in lust. Because he wasn't in love, was he, Lisa? Because love doesn't come into it.
Because I was younger, I didn't have a house or anything. I lived with my parents. And I can tell it took him a little bit to trust me or to know that I was sincere. And of course, John having his own house and him being very established was attractive, not because I was a gold digger or I wanted his things.
No, of course you didn't. No, you weren't a gold digger at all. You said you had a list of things and they had to meet the requirements, and number one on the list was that you were to be a stay-at-home mum. When I met my husband and we had the chat about children and whatever, did you both want children? We had a big chat in the space of 17 days. We both said, well, he said he'd like me to stay at home and bring the kids up, and I said that would be great if we can afford to. Otherwise, we would both work and make it work. But she was insistent she was going to be a stay-at-home mum. Not a case of if I can. That was her thing. You can marry me if you guarantee I'm going to be a stay-at-home mum. Who does that? Who? Nobody. That's who. You bump into somebody at the pub, at the gym, at wherever, and you start dating and you fall in love and you get married. You don't have a list of requirements and you go around interviewing all the older men that are established. There's plenty of young men that have their shit together as well, you know.
It was because that meant that was a track record for him. He already had his life established. He had been married before. Neither of us had any children. And so he already had proof that he was responsible, that he was a hard worker, that he was smart, that he was responsible with his money.
Hang on a minute. How did it prove that? Piss off, boss. How did it prove any of that? He was divorced. Obviously, something wasn't super perfect about him. Otherwise, he would still have been married. She's never said, has she, why John got divorced? I wonder why. Because even with his house and his car and his job and what have you, I'd be thinking, why are you divorced? If you're such a good catch. If you're the best catch in Wilmington, why are you divorced? Sorry.
All of that was proof, and that's another thing that you get when you date an older man. Chivalry. I love to be pampered. I love to have the door open for me. I think it is beautiful. I think the traditional dynamics between a man and a woman are just beautiful.
How many people just switched off then? Wow. What the hell is that now? Oh, it's a dog. The dynamics between a woman and a man. Wow. Does it have to be between a woman and a man? I like when I'm walking into somewhere the person that was in front of me to hold the door if I'm not too far behind, because I do it for other people. I'm not waiting around for a man to do it for me. Chivalry. That was important to her, was it? Chivalry. Being fucking pampered is what you're saying, Lisa. Doing nothing is what you're saying. You wanted a man that was going to pull the chair out for you and pay the bill.
I think Mother Nature created them perfectly.
Oh!
And I think the more that we go against that...
Oh, she's not going there, is she? Holy fuck. Is she going to go there? Has she lost any subscribers in the last couple of days? That would be interesting to see. Wow.
The more trouble that we get into. So that is something that I really liked too. Another thing that is great about a man that has it all together, he's a little bit older, is not only are his accomplishments out on the table, but so are his negatives. They don't really hide as much. Like the guys that I dated before John, you will see their tendencies, their habits, what they have created in their lives. You will see that pretty soon. And then you can just get out if you need to, like I did, or...
You can see that they don't have enough money and they're not doing the pulley chair thing, and they've twigged that I'm a gold digger. And they said, thanks, but no thanks, ma'am. I got out of that. I'm sure you did. Yep, pardon me a minute. I've got a glasses case that you need to be fucking Popeye to get into. Okay.
You know, maybe they're just not headed, their future is not headed the same direction yours is, and there may be nothing wrong with the relationship, but you just know that there's no future. But an older man just seems to have it more together. He's more secure. He tells you what he's thinking. He tells you what's on his...
I'm sorry. When I met my husband, everyone knows the story. He asked me to marry him after 17 days. It was 9 weeks from our first date to our wedding day. He was 23. I was 29. When we turned up at the registry office, or when he turned up at the registry office, because he was there before me, the registrar looked at him and said, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm the groom." And he went, "You're 23?" Because of the receding hairline. And he's like, "Yeah." Anywho, I've forgotten what I wanted to say now that she just said. Hang on a second. See, that happens as well. Somebody said to me the other day, it gets confusing because you stop things too often. If I don't stop it when I think of it, I forget it. And this is prime example. I've forgotten what it was I wanted to say.
Tells you what he's thinking. He tells you what's on his mind. He's not playing games.
Neither was my 23-year-old. He told me exactly what was on his mind. Exactly what he wanted out of life. He was sick of playing the field and he wanted to settle down. Doesn't mean just older men want to settle down and have kids and live a life. Here we are 27 years later. What a load of bollocks. And the way you just swept every gay fucking couple under the carpet. And people are like, "Oh, she's lovely, leave her alone."
And therefore it's just kind of laid out on the table. John did this in many ways. Like even on our first date that was a blind date, my aunt hooked us up. She had worked with him for, I think, 20 years or something. And it was, like I said, a blind date. We went on the boat. And what I loved about him is he was not inhibited. He was not afraid to just speak his mind. He had good eye contact. He wasn't looking at everybody else or looking all around. I had his full attention.
Because he's older. Is that what you're saying? What a load of bollocks. I can't, really.
Was listening to every word I said. Like, he asked me about going to the movies, and I just nonchalantly said, I didn't even think that much of it, but I said, yeah, I like to go to movies kind of like during the week, because it just seems like you're wasting time or something on the weekend. I don't know what I was talking about, but from then on, if we went to the movies, we went during the week. I mean, he listened to every word I said, so he was so considerate.
Younger men listen and are considerate too. So far, she's not said anything that would make me want to run out and marry an older man. Anyone else?
And most every older guy I dated was that way. They really listened to you, and they really tried to please you. They tried to really do the things that make you happy. And I really have not experienced that with guys I've dated that were more my age, because
You've just said all the men you dated were older bar the one you married. So what fucking experience, apart from your divorce, do you have of younger men? You're sat there salty because your first husband wasn't fucking kneeling and bowing and scraping to you and fucking jumping at your every command. So you've put all younger men in the shit box, and because you married John and he was good, you've put all the older men in the good box. You've got no life experience. None. How many people did you date in your 20s that were younger than you? Because you just said everyone you dated was older by your first John.
usually they don't know yet. They don't know exactly what it is even that makes them happy or where they're going.
Oh, what a load of utter fucking bollocks. So did you not know? Mind you, you don't know fucking anything now, do you? So fuck knows what you knew when you were 20. What an absolute load of bollocks. You can't put every younger man. What happens if you're 50 and you start dating a 40-year-old? He's a younger man. Is he no good?
And they're really at that point early in the 20s, and even earlier, they are consumed with themselves. I think that
Not like women at 27, hey Lisa? Or women at 50. Who's consumed with themselves?
older men are they're much more willing and eager to please you in every single way. You will feel so special. You will feel so special. You'll be have that feeling of being taken care of. I love the way older men are smart. They have so much knowledge. And even John.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Younger men are smart too. What about the younger man that's gone through college and university and comes out as a doctor? Is he not smart? Or the physicist? Or the biologist? Or anyone that actually has a brain other than you? You'd think fucking, God, I don't know, Peppa Pig was intelligent. Mind you, Peppa Pig. Yep, she's had more life experience than you too, I reckon.
Just being 10 years older than I am. And if you think about that, when I was 12, he was 22.
No.
So there is a lot more life that he has led, and a different almost generation, not a whole generation, but a different time. And so it's very interesting to talk to him about different things, different time periods. And it was like a new world. That's another thing.
You know, there was an episode of The Simpsons, and I say that's my husband a lot of the time and he's not paying attention. And there was, I think Marge said to Homer, "What's going on in your head?" And then you could see into his head, and there was all these little animals riding around on tricycles with circus music playing. I don't even think the little animals on the tricycles are in Lisa's head. There's absolutely nothing in there, is there? She does that wide mouth nodding thing. Oh, right. When anybody says anything. Because she's never heard it before. But she's full of life experience, folks.
And when you date an older guy, they usually have their job and their friend circles, and their social life is pretty much established. So you can tell by who they are hanging around with, how often they go to see their parents, what their family life is
That works for any age of man, you fuckwit.
like. They're not putting up a front, and they have been, in their lives long enough that they have built this life that you will probably become a part of. It's probably more likely that you will integrate into their life. So if you don't like it, you will see it much easier than you will when you're dating a younger guy. Another one.
How exactly? When you're dating a younger guy, you meet his friends. You see his social circle. You see how often he goes to visit his mum or how he talks about her. What? I don't understand your point, Lisa. None of this is any different regardless of age. I don't understand. God, she's irritating.
One of the many sexy things about older men.
I'm sorry, I don't want to hear sexy time with John stories. No. If you're going to go there, I'm sticking my fingers in my ears and I'm la-la-la-ing until you stop.
Is that they are not shaken easily. They really are more even keel. They know how to handle things. One situation I remember, I had to get my car towed, and I can't remember what it was, what the situation was, but it was at work. And I left the keys, I must have set them down on the bed of the truck that picked it up, and I lost my keys. And I remember calling John, and he just handled it. He always does, no matter what's wrong. To this day,
John handled it, yeah. To this day, John handles it. Because you're fucking stupid. Most people would A, not have put the fucking keys on the flatbed of the truck. Or B, would have a spare key, somewhere. Under a plant pot or with a parent. But they wouldn't need to phone their boyfriend. Really? How old are you? 3? All this is a lesson of how a dimwit found an older man to fucking drag her through life and make sure she lived it and didn't kill herself doing something stupid.
Something can be bothering me, and he will help me handle it. He always is in control. He's not jealous. He's very secure within himself, which I know that's not always the case. Any age man can be jealous, or woman, but that's something that probably would have shown up right in the beginning. Matter of fact, I know it would have because I dealt with that. And you just will see it right in the beginning. So he is not easily shaken. He is in charge. I mean, from the beginning, he planned our dates. I was sitting at work one day, he called me up and he had planned a cruise, or asked me how I felt about going on a cruise, and then he planned the cruise. That some of the guys that I dated.
Where did the cruise go? I thought you said John didn't like travelling. Oh, we don't do that. John doesn't like it. John got the blame for everything, regardless of whether it was John to blame or not. So, he went on a cruise with you, did he? Was that to pretend to you that he liked travelling, and then once he had a ring on your finger he told you he didn't? Or has he always liked travelling? It was you who didn't want to. Which?
The nice guys that I dated before him did the same thing. They would think of trips and think of places to go that I would have never thought of and make the plans. One of the things that John did is we would go to the plays that were downtown at a theater. That is something I would have never done. That is something that I think...
But that's down to you because you're stupid. Are you saying that young men would never think to go to the theatre? Really? What do you think they'd be doing? Playing beer pong in the back garden somewhere? Asking you to join in? Not all young men or young women are as dim-witted as you.
A younger guy or a guy my age would have never thought to do. He had never done that before either, but he was just trying to think of things to, make me happy, places to take me. And I think that is very common when you date an older man.
No, that's very common when you date a man. When you date a man who likes you, who can see a future with you, they pull out all the stops to make you happy and find fun things to do on dates. That's what happens. Any age. Have you not seen some of these young people's fucking vlogs? Some of the engagement stories? What fucking bubble do you live in? Out in the real world, Lisa, young men are doing exactly what you're talking about.
I think that they will really try to please you more than a younger guy who is usually more interested in pleasing themselves.
Bollocks. What are you talking about? A fucking 19-year-old kid who wants to spend more time on their PlayStation? Yeah. But we're not talking about dating a 19-year-old kid when you're ready to settle down, are we?
Or doesn't even know what he wants to do. I feel like younger guys are just more, they're really caught up with their friends. They don't know how to even express what they want. I know, like right in the beginning, matter of fact, John and I were engaged 3 months after we met. I think we got married 8 months after we met, and we had Brooke. February was our anniversary, and she was born in March, if that tells you anything. So right from the beginning, he was able to tell me what he wanted, and then I felt safe enough to tell him exactly what I wanted.
Because you were 27 and you wanted to settle down. If you're dating a younger man who wants to settle down, they will be exactly the fucking same. It's got nothing to do with age.
Whereas with a younger guy, you have to play those games. You can't act like you want to get married. One time we were downtown and we were around a big group of people that we would see a lot when we were like out on the boat. He had a boat, and they were like some younger guys, and some of them were actually friends of like my first husband. And one of them called John and was talking to him, and I kind of went on with some other girls, another couple we were with, and he said, that guy just told me, watch out for her. She wants to get married. He said, I told him she found the right guy. And I was thinking, first of all, how awesome for John to say that, for him not to be embarrassed and to be mature enough to say that. And two, I was 27 years old at that time. What was I supposed to be dating for? I was thinking, what do guys that age think that women are trying to do? Just sleep around and just drink and go to bars and stuff. Like, I don't know if girls really want that.
I wonder if that's what he actually said. Or was there a bit more added on to the end of that, but we don't get to hear the whole thing?
Or if girls are just pretending to want that because that's what society has made us feel. Like, if we say we want to be married and if we say we want to have children, that's like a taboo thing. And I was 27 years old. So that just showed me right there. And different other things that John and older guys have done is, like, I told John that this morning. One thing I loved that he did is, every weekend or every week he would ask me out for the next weekend. Like, I did not have to think about it. I did not have to wonder. He wasn't like bugging me or everything either, because usually if you date an older man that has his career and his life together, he is busy. He's busy. He's working.
So young men don't have careers and work. What is she trying to say? Somebody, please.
He has things to do. So it was like the perfect, scenario. It's not like he called me constantly and was really needy. He had his own life going. That is pretty typical. That's pretty typical. Older men are going to have their lives going. Whether you like it or not, that's for you to decide. But you will see what their life is like. And he had a high-powered job and was very busy. But one weekend we were out to eat at one of our favorite places. He would come get me at work and not just sit outside. He would come to the door of the office and come get me when it was time to go to lunch. And we were talking and he said, "Do I need to go ahead and ask you out every weekend, or is it just pretty much known that we're going to go out every weekend?" And I just thought, how fabulous is that? That he is not worried about how that sounds or how direct that is. That was just so appealing to me.
What? What? Really? I totally get John saying, "Have I got to ask you out every week, or is this a thing now?" That isn't what It's her. Oh, how wonderful was that he was so direct. What the fuck are you on about? How many people have been out with people and they've said to them, "Are we a thing now or not? Are we official? Am I seeing you every Friday?" Do you know what? That's got How many times? Take a shot every time I say that's got nothing to do with age. After this, I'm going to have a look at the comments. See what the dumpkins are saying.
And that's the kind of things I think that you will experience in an older man. It just is natural. I'm not saying that if you're dating someone younger or your same age, it won't work. But I think if you are a traditional feminine woman that wants...
There she goes again with that traditional feminine woman bollocks.
...to be cherished, taken care of, protected. You want that feeling of security. You want to know what your future is. You want to be with someone who is intelligent, hardworking, established. I think it is a great way to find that. I think women, we don't fall in love with our eyes as much as the way we feel anyway. And so just give that older man in your life a chance.
Right. What is she saying? That he isn't much to look at, but he made her feel safe, so she went with it. Way to go, Lisa, having a pop at John. This whole thing, she never once said, "I saw him and thought, "Fwar." Do you know what I mean? Yet she's got "older men do it better" in the thumbnail and her snogging him. As if we believe that. Really.
Even if he is quite a bit older. And like I said, I do have some cons, and I will go into those next time. Just
I
going over
can't
my
wait.
notes, and I just wanted to reiterate, I wrote down much more concerned with your happiness than theirs. I really have found that to be true. And then another thing I wrote down is will show his strengths and his standards. When you start dating an older man, you will see in his life what he has manifested, what he has come to value. If he doesn't have any money, you know, just has a broken down car, hasn't spoke to his parents in over a year, then, you know, not that that is only with that certain man, but that older men, you're going to see that, and you're going to probably know it a little quicker. A younger guy will put on.
But she's not a gold digger, folks. Not at all. No. No. Shut up, you in the back. No, she's not. No.
Kind of like a show, and you may not figure that out as soon. But with an older man, you really get to see that immediately. I've noticed too, when you date older men, they want to take you home like really soon. They want to just bring you into their world, and it just is wonderful.
Sorry. I watch far too much crime. She said that, and all I could hear is they want to take you home and lock you in the basement. Sorry. Twisted sense of humour there.
It is a wonderful feeling, and I hope that if you are out there in the dating world, that you can embrace this and maybe give an older guy a chance. If you liked this kind of chat, let me know, because I have a lot more that I could add to this, even if you're already married. If you're already the same age, I have a lot of things that kind of go along with these concepts that I can talk about. So let me know. For my outfit of the day, I have on an outfit I've already shown.
For my outfit of the day, I have on an outfit.
You these pants. I went back and got the top that goes with it. I love a little set like this. I think that's just like one of the easiest outfit recipes is to buy.
An outfit recipe? Since when has an outfit been a fucking recipe? Jeez, who's been talking to her recently? What was it, the thing she said the other day? Oh, your carnivore staple wardrobe or something. She's losing the plot.
Sets, dresses, jumpsuits, because it's just so easy. So when I saw this top that goes with the pants, I bought these.
See your belly.
I have on my Dean Davidson earrings, the large knockout studs, a ring that my parents gave me. I love this. I think it's so pretty. I love rings that are shaped like that. My Rolex Tiffany watch and OPI Cajun shrimp, my favorite nail polish. Oh, and my Lisa necklace. I just ordered, I think I got this off of Amazon, but it is the one that is solid gold. And that's why I've had it so long, and it doesn't turn and I don't have to take it off. And for those of you that have known me and been with me this whole time, you know how much I love John. You know how our dynamic is.
You don't love John. You love the life John's given you. You love the fact that he does everything for you. I don't think she loves him at all.
He takes care of me. I take care of him. We appreciate each other so much. It's such a beautiful relationship that I want to share as much of that with you as possible. So thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.
I'm sorry, I don't think I've ever needed to say to people that I appreciate my husband. I tell my husband that I appreciate what he does for me, because the tables turned. I used to be the do-everything woman while he was out at work, and all he did was, I'm not saying all he did was go to work, but you know what I mean. He went to work, came home, that was it. His job was done. And at one point he said to me, my God, do you ever sit down? Sit down. And I said, but nothing. Now, I'm sick. He helps me. Swings and roundabouts. Oh, that's a thing that an older guy would do. If you got sick, they'd be there and they'd look after you. Yeah, funnily enough, my younger husband does that. God, she talks some fucking twaddle, doesn't she? I think younger men with an older soul can be the same way. I found these same characteristics in my husband, who's 8 years younger. Lisa, I'm going through a terrible breakup with an older man right now. My husband's 22 years older than me. I'm not sure if age has to do with anything. I've been married for 28 years and I'm 6 months older than my husband. Men that have good virtues are just good men. I'm glad you're happy. Well said, fucking Christy Hornbuckle. There's a name. It's got nothing to do with friggin' age. Anywho, if you got to the end with me, thank you very much. And I will catch you in the next one.